Oh yeah, we got it.
All right, the time has come. We are finally getting ready to put the 460 in. But first things first, we got to pull the 400 out. We're starting with the 203. Then we're going to pull the transmission. Then we're going to pull the 400. Then we're going to stuff this in. Mounts are already on. It should just sit right on the 400 mounts. That's what these mounts are made for, is they're supposed to bolt straight to the 400 perches. Then we will take the E40, which has been sitting over there in the corner for a year, and set that up and start mocking up a cross member. Probably modify this factory cross member. We'll see what happens. Already have the drive shafts out from when I did the ton swap, so that's ready to go. I am going to drop the side tank. We will not be running that. I'm just going to go to one large Bronco rear tank. That way I don't have to play with switch valves and all that nonsense. Once I get everything out, I'm going to push it out and hit everything with a pressure washer. Right now I'm having a significantly hard time even locating the hardware. It is so covered in 20 years of rubbery fucking grease, rocks, and whatever. It was kind of a wheeler, I guess, before I got my hands on it. I mean, the shop floor was clean before it, and I've pulled out a whopping 4 bolts. It's already accumulating quite the pile of dirt. I'll check back in once the transfer case is out. Alright, 203's out. Time to start working on the transmission. It's funny because it looks like this truck was built by a company called Billy Bob's Off-Road here in Washington. Some point in the late 90s. The last time it was tabbed before I got my hands on it was 99, so I'm gonna assume sometime around then. And just looking at this whole seal, you know, can't help but think that they must have gone through this right before they well, from the looks of it, it looks like they probably took it out wheeling, got water in the motor, which I was able to free up and get to run okay, but not good enough that I was happy with. And you know, I'm not sure if this is just because it's sitting in the tail shaft of the housing. I don't have much experience with these 203s, but it sure looks like it was replaced. You can see the steel band kind of got caught on my way out. Who knows on what? Or I doubt it's been like that because I feel like it would have fallen off. But it's hopeful for the internals of this. I'll pull the covers off and look at it later. I would like to maybe get my hands on a 205 and then build myself a doubler after cleaning up. I mean, just look at this gunk. Maybe if this is in good shape, I mean, I know it's gonna be salvageable, but build myself a doubler, that'd be sweet in the Jeep. Okay, transmission's out. Made a bit of a mess, but you know, I didn't have any delusions that this was gonna be a cleaner job. You can see all the paint from the eBay rebuild via fucking the boys down at Billy Bob's. And I don't know what the fuck they wrote there. Probably so they could keep it all their parts together when they took it apart. But yeah. I also built it with these puny little 1.5 inch pipe. I mean, they did a good job putting it together for like a 90s exhaust system. These weird little, I'm not even sure what the fuck these are, but it kind of looks cool. Keep the pipes together, but I mean, this thing would just sit there and pop at an idle. I guess that like kind of was a popular thing with guys in this area at the time. Small pipes, make them pop, like kind of like lowriders, I guess, but not my thing. I like my exhaust to flow. That's why we got the headers we'll go at least 2.5 the whole way back, maybe 3. We'll see what happens. Now we just gotta start undoing some wires, stick that off to the side. I haven't decided yet. It's pretty late tonight, so I'm probably gonna call it quits tonight. But I may pull the front clip so I don't have to go 10 feet up to get the motor out. There's some good damage to this thing anyways. So I might bang some of it out when it's off. I might just shove it back together. Who knows? You know, I'm pretty gung-ho to just drive the fucking truck. So we'll see what happens there. But I think that is what I'm going to do. I think the last thing I'm going to do is get the radiator draining overnight and then call it quits for the day. Alright, I pulled the 400 out. Pushed the truck out and pressure washed the engine bay. Took some time cutting out some random wires and disconnecting the factory engine harness. 460's hooked up to the hoist and ready to go. That's all I'm going to do tonight. Use the tractor and pulled the 400 out along with the C6 and the trench case. Aired the tires down to literally 0 psi, and they're still not on the rim. These tires are stiff, but I had some trouble pulling the 400 out, getting it up over the radiator. I think tomorrow when I get off of work, I'll probably pull the radiator out to reduce risk of smashing into it, because I haven't decided if I'm using that radiator yet or if I'm using the 5460's radiator. They're roughly the same size, and this one, you know, is a factory copper one, and they work fucking great. And it wasn't leaking when this truck, I mean, it was still full after sitting all the time. Check back in tomorrow. I also still have to weld back together this part of the bumper. Previous owner's welds were super good. Yeah, I mean, that's one way to put it, I guess. You know, if you fucking close both your eyes and look the other way. But it's not going to be a big deal to fix. It broke in a way that, I mean, it kind of broke like hard Play-Doh. You can hold it right back up and see it kind of just lands right back where it needs, and then I'll bevel cut it and weld it in. I'll grind all these welds, clean off and weld in. I mean, this is thick ass steel, so I'll burn it in pretty heavy. And then, you know, maybe try to use the winch to pull it up a tree and test it out again. But yeah, I'm excited. There was, I mean, like specifically on the power steering side, just years and years of grime. It was just so fucking bad. I still have to pull these tranny cooler lines out. I'm just not noticing. I'm gonna cut out this whole exhaust. It's like I said, it's really small. I'm not going to use it. And it's rusty and old. And drop the main tank. There's already no rear tank in it because I did have a Bronco tank in it, but then I stole that out for a different rig. You know, that's just how it goes when you got 12 projects going at all times. Okay. It's in. Pretty easy. My dumbass tried to stuff it in while the radiators is still in. It wasn't going to happen. Mostly because I had the headers on. I didn't feel like taking them back off, and I felt like I could fit it in there with them on, and it'd probably be easier to have them already installed and try to install it the engine than try to squeeze them in. I mean, I'm gonna have to lift it up a little bit and do a little bit of percussive maintenance to this spot right here, because it is literally rubbing on the frame. These are the headers for a 90s OBS that I am making work for this. But I'm pretty happy with how that sits. Now I just need to work out the kinks with the headers. I just have it loosely bolted on. It's not tightened down or nothing. Then I'll fully tighten all those stuff after I work out the kinks with the header. Then I'm going to slowly start putting all the accessory stuff together. Once all that's together, I'll put the transmission in, build the cross member, and then I will do some wiring after I have the transmission and the starter in, and fire her up, and you know, go from there. You know, put transfer case in, build drive lines, figure out AC, really dial in the harness. I have not decided what I'm doing with the cluster yet. Probably just going to stuff the OBS one in there for now. But the plan is, in my brain, I don't think I'm going to go as fancy as like a Dakota Digital or the new Autometer fully digital one. I mean, I don't know if this is quite the truck for that. But I'll probably go with that, like, I think it's Autometer's, just like, it's that plastic bezel one that just sits in there that takes regular gauges, and just wire it up and have just mechanical gauges for the truck. Keep it stupid simple. That's the way I like it. Easy to repair, easy to trace wires, etc., etc. I want this to be a long-term setup, and I want it to fiddle fuck with it too terrible lot. I'd like it to, you know, run and drive mechanically like a 90s Ford. You know, obviously I'll have to probably put a map sensor in it once in a while, or an IAC, and then, you know, the usual shit with a den side, fucking a wheel bearing or a U-joint once in a while. Other than that, they're fucking pretty goddamn stout. You know, just really just enjoy the truck. Do some light hauling with it. Won't be doing too much hauling with it. After all, I do have an actual diesel truck, but, you know, what's the point of building an F-250 if you're not going to work it a little bit? But this is all for this video. I'm just gonna, you know, sorry it's kind of broke up into segments. I don't have the attention span to really sit there and film myself and talk through the whole thing, especially without using too many swear words. So, you know, I'll just do a few little videos while I'm going, and then when I'm all done, then I'll do a much better, like, in-depth walk through what I did for the harness, how I did the accelerator pedal. A lot of this is coming straight from the EFI 460 guys website. So props to them for kind of pioneering this and making it so I'm doing a lot less fumbling around through it. And yeah, thanks for all 4 of you that watch.